of the airport to understand why the Lord comes so many times in one kind of land like this. I had a question about the.
Can I say one thing that you ask your questions because you got to the airport? When Krishna comes to India, for example, 500 and now it'd be 37 years ago, Lord Chaitanya came. We're used to saying 500 years, we'll probably be saying 500 years ago the next 2,000 years. Anyway, now it's actually 537 years ago. And so Lord Chaitanya came to a culture area, namely Bharata, or India, in which people already knew Bhagavad Gita. They already knew Ramchandra, they knew Krishna, no, they knew so much. So there's continuity. It's not that every time, imagine if you're giving a course at a university, every time you go to speak, you have new students who've never heard the first lessons. So there has to be continuity. You have to have a basic Vedic culture that you can build on, that you can refer to. And therefore it's a practical necessity to have a place where this cultural continuity can be developed. And Krishna chose India. You say, why Indians? Because there's no such thing as Indians. Ultimately, there are simply souls who took birth there. Bharata Bhumite ka janma manusha janma jar. Bharata Bhumite, okay, Rusty. Bharata Bhumite hoila manusha janma jar janma sartha kori koro paropaka. So there has to be this cultural continuity, otherwise we just become crazy. And Krishna picked a place which, for most of human history, was the center of the world, which had an amenable climate, which had abundant natural resources, and he put there a population who was seriously inclined to hear from him. So we could send people there to learn about him. And so that's why. So go ahead.
So, thank you so much, Maharaj. So, we understand that the devotees, the people there have been given that opportunity since time immemorial to connect with spirituality. But we see now the situation is like, as we are trying to serve, it becomes all the more difficult because of the inclinations of their changing turns into the Western civilization or getting into they're not connecting back to the roots of the Vedic culture, and they are looking more towards modernization, more towards materialism. So my question, Maharaj, is, as you are delineating all through the ages, this has been there for all through the ages. What is the reason that this kind of drastic changes happening in the recent times? And as devotees, what can we do to make
well,
it?
First of all, it is Kali Yuga after all. It's like saying, if you're in Canada and you say, why is it snowing? Well, maybe because it's winter. And so it is Kali Yuga, but also we see the movement is flourishing in India. I think it flourished even more in a broader presentation, but